You know, it's funny. Sometimes the most fascinating discoveries are hiding right in plain sight, tucked away in things we look at every single day. Today, we're going to pull back the curtain on a hidden system, a secret organizational tool in our language, just by looking at one simple word. So let's just dive right in. I mean, seriously, how much can one word really teach us? I know what you're thinking. It's just a word. But what if I told you that a single dictionary entry could unlock an entire philosophy about language itself? Well, let's find out. Here's what we're going to be looking at today, the dictionary entry for the word education. We're pulling this directly from the Simple English Wiktionary. Now, it looks pretty straightforward, right? But trust me, there is so much more going on here than you'd think. Okay, first step, more than a definition. We're going to start with the basics. You know, the parts of a dictionary entry that we all recognize. This is the stuff we expect to see when we look up a word.
First, you've got the pronunciation guide. You see all those funny-looking symbols? That's the International Phonetic Alphabet, or IPA. It's basically a universal key that tells anyone, anywhere on the planet, exactly how to say the word. It's that first layer of data, making sure we all say education the same way.
And then, of course, you get to the meat of it, the definition, the core meaning. In this case, education is when someone learns or is taught something, usually, out of school. This is what the word means. It's our baseline. And just to make sure we really get it, the entry gives us an example sentence. It's this little story that really paints the picture for us. It adds context, showing the difference between learning on your own and what we call formal education. It just makes the whole thing a little bit sharper. The entry also introduces us to its family members. So education is the noun, and educate is the verb, the action itself. Dictionaries are great at showing us these connections, helping us build out our whole web of words. So far, so standard, right? Pronunciation, definition, and example. It's exactly what you'd expect to find. But this is where things get interesting, because hidden at the very bottom of the page is a tiny clue. All right, let's talk about the hidden category. We're about to look at a part of the page that, let's be honest, most of us would probably scroll right past without even noticing. Okay, now this is where it gets really interesting. Look at this little tag, way down here. Underneath everything else, there's a section called Categories, and inside it, this cryptic little code, BE850. It's not a typo, it's a label. But what is it labeling? And that's our mystery, right? What in the world does B850 mean? It's definitely not obvious. It has nothing to do with pronunciation or the definition. It feels like we just found a piece to a puzzle we didn't even know existed. And the answer is sitting right there, just waiting for us to notice. The Wiktionary entry comes right out and tells us. Education is on the Basic English 850 list. And just like that, with that one little learn, this simple dictionary entry has blown the doors wide open to something way bigger. Which brings us here, introducing Basic English. See, that little tag, BE850, it isn't just a random category. It's our ticket into an entire linguistic system. We're not just looking at a single word anymore. We're looking at a piece of a much larger, carefully built machine. And the key to this whole thing is that number, 850. And let me tell you, that is not a random number. It is the precise number of words that make up the absolute core of this system. So what is this Basic English 850 list? Well, you can think of it as a starter pack for the English language. It was created way back in the 1930s with a really specific goal, to create a foundation of 850 essential words that could be used for clear, simple communication, especially for people learning English for the first time. And this is absolutely crucial. The word education isn't on this list by accident. Its presence here means it was deliberately chosen. Somebody, somewhere, decided that this idea, education, was so fundamental to human experience that it had to be one of only 850 words. It's not just a word, it's a foundational building block in a system designed to make language simpler. Which brings us to the big picture. Why simple words matter? Why does any of this matter? What does finding a hidden system inside a dictionary entry actually teach us about the world? Let's just quickly retrace our steps, because it's pretty wild when you lay it all out. We started with something totally normal, the word education. We looked at its definition, the stuff we all know, but then by noticing one tiny overlooked detail, that little BE850 tag, we stumbled into an entire linguistic system working just beneath the surface. The lesson here, really, is that our world is just full of hidden structures.
Language isn't some chaotic mess of words, it's organized. And systems like Basic English prove that even simplicity is often the result of incredibly complex and thoughtful design. All we have to do is be curious enough to look a little closer.
So I guess I'll just leave you with this question. The next time you look up a word, or even just read a sentence, think about this. What unseen rules, what hidden categories might be shaping the very words you're using? What other systems are hiding in plain sight, just waiting for you to find them?